What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. Welcome back to some more Bible reading. Alright, so here we go. Getting into chapter 6 now. Last chapter was the initial conversation between Moses and Pharaoh. Pharaoh's like, no, I'm not letting your people go. And decides shortly thereafter to make the Hebrews work even harder by not giving them the straw that they had to make their bricks. But still expecting the same output. So then Moses catches wind of people working harder and then is kind of questioning already why God even sent him, seeing as, the people are not being delivered. But as he's asking God about this, we get into chapter 6. So, verse 1. Then the Lord told Moses, Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. When he feels the force of my strong hand, he will let the people go. In fact, he will force them to leave his land. And God said to Moses, I am Yahweh, the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as El Shaddai, God Almighty. But I did not reveal my name, Yahweh, to them. And I reaffirmed my covenant with them. Under its terms, I promised to give them the land of Canaan, where they were living as foreigners. You can be sure that I have heard the groans of the people of Israel, who are now slaves to the Egyptians, and I am well aware of my covenant with them. So, Moses' complaints, or questions at least, about why God sent him are essentially answered with, alright, now I'm going to bring in the next phase of my plan. I knew Pharaoh would be like this, so I'm going to get more forceful here. And not only is he going to let you go, he's going to command all of my people to leave Egypt. Let's see here. Footnote for Yahweh, the Lord. Transliteration of also sometimes rendered Jehovah. God Almighty is probably just explaining that that's the meaning of El Shaddai. Yeah. So God also further reassures Moses by saying, okay, I made this covenant with your forefathers, with your ancestors, that I would, give their descendants, meaning, these people you're trying to rescue, that I would give them the land of Canaan to live in. I know this covenant is a thing, and I am about to make good on this. So anyway, verse 6. This is still God speaking to Moses. Therefore say to the people of Israel, I am the Lord. I will free you from your oppression and will rescue you from your slavery in Egypt. I will redeem you with a powerful arm and great acts of judgment. I will claim you as my own people, and I will be your God. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God who has freed you from your oppression in Egypt. I will bring you into the land I swore to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will give it to you as your very own possession. I am the Lord. So, that last I am the Lord, it actually comes into play a lot. You'll see it a lot throughout the Bible whenever God speaks things and is trying to, kind of definitively say, such and such a thing will happen. It's almost, the way I see it, it almost serves as a, remember, I am the Lord. I am your God. I am, the same God who appeared to your ancestors, God Almighty, I can do all these things. I will do all these things. And it's almost like it's also a bit of a like, I have spoken, so be it, sort of thing. Like a king or ruler would maybe do when making some sort of official decree or something like that. So, I mean, I'm not 100% sure of all the reasons why that appears in so many different places, but that's kind of the sentiment that I get from it whenever I see that there. But anyway, so God's essentially saying to Moses to say to the people that, all right, I see that you're, oppressed, that you're being driven harshly by, your slavery here. And I am going to, I will redeem you with a powerful arm and great acts of judgment. So he's essentially trying to tell the people that, like, look, I'm about to do some really mighty things in order to, show my hand and let everyone know that I'm the one who's acting here to, free you from your oppression. So anyway, then we get to verse 9. So Moses told the people of Israel what the Lord had said, but they refused to listen anymore. They had become too discouraged by the brutality of their slavery. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go back to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and tell him to let the people of Israel leave this country." Or leave his country. Whatever. But Lord, Moses objected, "my own people won't listen to me anymore. How can I expect Pharaoh to listen? I'm such a clumsy speaker." But the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron and gave them orders for the Israelites and for Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. The Lord commanded Moses and Aaron to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt. So again, Moses, like, turns it back in on himself, being so, like, not confident in his own abilities. Almost like he thinks it's his fault that things aren't working out. But, God is further communicating and reassuring him and Aaron of the plan, and that they need to, continue on this path that they're, currently walking to lead the people out of Egypt. Let's see what this footnote says. Hebrew says, "I have uncircumcised lips." Which, I mean, I guess you could think of that as him being a clumsy speaker. Could also be thought of almost like, he doesn't think that his words are God's words, or that he, speaks with the authority that God would have. Or, I mean, there's probably a number of ways to think of that, but, for sure, he does not think that his speech and leadership are matching up to the standard of where they should be, in order to help enact God's plans. But anyway, verse 14. Which, okay, random break in all of that stuff to give a freaking ancestry report. Anyway, verse 14. These are the ancestors of some of the clans of Israel. The sons of Reuben, Israel's oldest son, were Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. Their descendants became the clans of Reuben. And the sons of Simeon were Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul. Shaul's mother was a Canaanite woman. Their descendants became the clans of Simeon. These are the descendants of Levi, as listed in their family records. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Levi lived to be 137 years old. Okay. Now, pausing for a sec in the reading, because Levi, I mean, it mentioned Aaron being a Levite, so he's from this line of Jacob, essentially. He is descended from this particular son of Jacob. But now I guess it's getting even further into Levi's descendants, or Levi's sons and their descendants. Anyway, verse 17. The descendants of Gershon included Libni and Shimei, each of whom became the ancestor of a clan. The descendants of Kohath included Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. Kohath lived to be 133 years old. The descendants of Merari included Mali and Mushi. I'm really not confident in those pronunciations, but whatever. These are the clans of the Levites as listed in their family records. So I wonder if it got into more detail about that because of, that essentially being Aaron's lineage. Anyway, Amram married his father's sister, Yochebed. Oh, yeah, that name. That's a name that I recognize from the Prince of Egypt. Okay, so that makes the pronunciation possibly a little easier or better, assuming they were correct in that. Anyway, let me restart that. Amram married his father's sister, Yochebed, and she gave birth to his sons, Aaron and Moses. Amram lived to be 137 years old. So this is the mother of Aaron and Moses. So that's why it was breaking some of this stuff down to kind of, give us some of the in-between when we were, back in Genesis, the tail end of it, all the stuff that was happening with Jacob's family and Joseph and all them, kind of saying, all right, here's at least some of the descendants in between, and, kind of getting to where we are now. But it doesn't want to give an incomplete lineage, so it goes on to talk about more than just Aaron and Moses' ancestry. So anyway, then we get to verse 21. Sons of Izhar were Korah, Nepheg, and Zikri. Sons of Uzziel were Mishael, Elzaphan, and Sithri. Aaron married Elisheba, the daughter of Aminadab and sister of Nashon, and he gave birth to his sons Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. The sons of Korah were Asir, Elkanah, and Abiasaph. Their descendants became the clans of Korah. Eleazar, son of Aaron, married one of the daughters of Putiel, and she gave birth to his son Phinehas. These are the ancestors of the Levite families listed according to their clans. Okay, so there we go. Full Levite lineage ancestry thing there. So I guess, when it talks about Aaron being kind of somewhat of a trusted figure this is kind of giving his background and maybe a little bit credentials, so to speak, for why he would have that standing among the Hebrews/Israelites. Anyway, verse 26. The Aaron and Moses named in this list are the same ones to whom the Lord said, "Lead the people out of the land of Egypt like an army." It was Moses and Aaron who spoke to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, about leading the people Israel out of Egypt. When the Lord spoke to Moses in the land of Egypt, he said to him, "I am the Lord. Tell Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, everything I am telling you." But Moses argued with the Lord, saying, "I can't do it. I'm such a clumsy speaker. Why should Pharaoh listen to me?" Okay, so it's almost like the not entirely uncommon tactic in stories and movies and things like that, where people, the author will kind of bring you into the action, at least partway, so to speak, to then sort of have a flashback and, talk about some details of the person, where they come from, what they've done before, and things like that. I guess that's sort of a similar idea here. But anyway, so I guess if nothing else, that gives us a little more background info on, the ancestry or lineage or whatever of Moses and Aaron. And towards the end there, it's kind of bringing us back around to, to what Moses had last said to God and God's response, commanding Moses and Aaron to lead the people out of Egypt. I guess in a way you could almost maybe think about this whole ancestry of like, okay, it might not have seemed for all those years like God had a particular plan to bring his people out of Egypt, but all these different people got married and had kids, and then they had kids, and all this stuff happened to give us the births of Aaron and Moses, who God then, commanded to lead the people out of Egypt. So if God was working on all that stuff happening, then God was not necessarily inactive in his plan to free the people. But those events needed to occur in order to get to Moses and Aaron, who would then be the ones to free the people. Anyway. So that's the end of the chapter there. A lot more lineage than I was expecting, but oh well. It happens sometimes. I don't know if I really have any other thoughts to add regarding that chapter. Alright, so that's going to do it for this time around. As always, like and share if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and click the bell to get updates when I post new ones. Look down in the description for info on social media pages and how to find and follow and all that good stuff. And of course, leave comments down below all that with any thoughts that you have. So yeah, that's it. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you for the next chapter of Bible reading. But until then, stay cool, people.